Aries, welcome to your blueprint energy reading for this week, going from the 30th to the 5th of February. We're going to be going into your chakras and your aura and having a look and seeing which ones are the best ones to sort of play in, which ones are sort of needs a bit more of attention and that sort of thing, just to sort of help you out. This is a general reading, of course. Obviously, chakras change on change from 1 second to another. Let's just see what's going on, and let's just see what ones are being influenced by the rhythmical rhythms of the world that is around us. So here we go. We got your root chakra. Now you're in your autumn period, and those of you who've been following me, you know exactly what that means. So there's a lot of evaluation of what's been going over the last year, and what's you want to be coming for this coming year. So both sides of these chakras are really. Certainly the one on the right hand side, on the left hand side here, on your left hand side as it were, is a lot more defined. In fact, it's almost perfectly defined within regards to business projects, the interaction with the material world of where you want to be and what you want to be doing or how you want it and everything like that. That seems to be pretty clear within your mind now. On the right hand side, there's still things that need to dovetail in. So this is into the emotions, into the relationship side of things, and that there's still a few things that need to be worked out on that sort of side. But generally, in comparison to everybody else, really well. There is a real air of confidence about you at the moment that everything seems to be right. Now, obviously, pride goes before a fall, as they say. So I would be just a little bit wary about that. I don't think this is a case for you. I really don't think it's a problem of of being too much pride in it. I just think you're happy. I think there's a huge, big serving of contentment within your life at the moment. Really lovely, Aries. Absolutely beautiful. Falling in love with you at the moment, Aries. Let's just see what's going on with your sacrum. So you work hard, Aries. There's no spots on you. There's no flies on you, Aries. And sometimes you work a little bit too hard, and maybe this could well be the case at the moment. I think this month here, and it's funny February, because it is really funny February. I would just cut yourself a little bit of slack. Take time out, do things that are really good for you. Interact with the people that you really want to interact with. Take your time, that sort of thing. Really enjoy sort of like the speed of it, just being a little bit slowed down so you can enjoy the moment, as it were. And just you might need to do this in. Normally I say to people, it's good to do 5 minutes a day of something like just like singing and dancing in the kitchen whilst you're doing the washing up, something like that. But I don't think it is the case with you here. I think it's more a case of actually enjoying an evening out or going to see a sporting event with some friends or going to, the theatre or going for a bike ride or going for, visiting a place with people. And it's really just being in that. And I think you should quantify sort of nice blocks where you can engage with that pleasure that is within you. Now let's get into the solar plexus and the heart. Now these have been the most interesting things. You've got that fusing going on between the solar plexus and the heart. Now I have been doing this for 30 years. I've seen 20,000 people in my career as an energy healer. I've enjoyed every single one and every single step of the way. It's been a really beautiful journey. I really do appreciate it. I thank you very much. And there is a case here I've never seen chakras fusing like this together. And I think this has something to do with the overall energy that is around us at the moment and what's happening at the Earth and the solar system. Because every single planet is going through meteorological changes, regardless. And they don't have humans living on them either. I'll just put that out there, But across the board, every single planet is getting perturbations And and I think this comes into effect within us because we are 100% dependent upon this energy, and it's like these two energies are inverting. And here is like you haven't got time for passions that don't stimulate your heart at the moment. That's what it's going to feel like. You haven't got time for it. You haven't got patience for, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this because I love doing this. And that's a good thing. And, you should never feel bad about it. It's a very good thing for you, for everybody that is around you. It helps everybody else to quantify what they should be doing. It gives you clear sort of moments of pleasure and also direction in your life. But the solar plexus is really well formed, so it's like a matter of fact about it. I should be following my heart, sort of scenario. It's because the solar plexus is well formed, so there's no aggressivity in it. It's very nice. That's just how it is. It's just the way it flows. Let's just see what's going on between the heart and the solar plexus. So this is very Aries. Most people have had the heart that's feeding the solar plexus, and you've got the solar plexus that's feeding the heart. It's almost as if like you've got that enthusiasm to try things or to do things, obviously within reason. And this is where you might find a little frustration going on, simply because if you're working really hard, you're not going to want to do the enthusiastic part, and I think you should. So I think this work ethic, work between work and play, has to be addressed here, because otherwise I think you might be causing yourself a little bit of frustration, a little bit of sort of damn sort of thing, and disappointment more than anything else. Not major disappointments, just kind of like, oh, what a shame, and you'll feel it. So I would get on and do, make sure there is a good, healthy balance between the two. Let's see what's going on in the heart chakra here. So there's lovely energy on the outside. There's a real sort of almost like love for your fellow human, but it is a bit of matter of fact about it. You're not one to sort of, put up with stupidity. Let's put it like that. That's probably a nice way to put it. And you're being really nice to people that are just being really stupid. And you're just kind of going, just be nice to them, just so then they can just move on and get out of your sphere. It's almost as like, you're sort of kind of going, yeah, there you go. You're like, oh, they got that, great. And the problem with that is they might come back. That's the problem. And you might end up with, in a situation where you're just being too nice, and you might have people just sort of like constantly coming back and just kind of, oh no, what are they doing back again? It might be a case of just, calling a dog a dog. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So being straight with people will probably, it might be a bit of a shock to them to start with, but it will help them in the greater good, the longer run, as it were. So, I would be a little bit like that sort of, you don't fare fools gladly. That's what I'm after. Let's see what's going on the inside of your heart. Now, the inside of your heart has got this connection with everything. This does tie into your autumn period, but I have seen it in other people, such as Capricorn, and also in Gemini. And it's like an emotion that's not necessarily yours. It's not your emotion, so it's not connected to past traumas, which I've seen in other people's signs. So it's not a collective thing here, but it's in that sort of sense. But it comes from the outside, so it's how you connect with everything that is around you. And when I say everything, I quite literally mean everything. That means trees, animals, planets, humans, material world, solar systems, the whole shooting match, the whole kit caboodle. It's your heart is learning to be at peace and at one with everything that is around you. And this is what February is all about. We talked about it in the collective reading as well, which it will be linked at the end of this reading for the month of February. And we talked about that there is a understanding that needs to be happen between the functioning of energy and the creation of emotions. And you seem to be grasping that at the moment. Let's just see what's going on. But it's really nice heart sort of situation. I didn't look at your social sort of petals either. Let's have a look on that. Yeah, I think there's big petals, so there's these big pleasures rather than just little ones. You know, there's big pleasures for you. Let's just see what's going on the third eye and the throat chakra. There's not too much in the way of communication. There's a little bit overthinking that could be tied into the work that you may have on at the moment, or looking for a job, or you're just preoccupied a little bit with the physical or the material side of life. So that could be provoking a little bit of sort of overthinking in a way, or getting lost down rabbit holes in concerns with what's going on between you and the physical world around you. But the throat chakra is not bad at all. They're actually really quite in balance, which is really harmonious in a way. So communication, when you do communicate, make sure, it should be clear and clean and precise. Really, it's just that you just don't want to go too deep into things at the moment, and that's understandable because you're going through your autumn. You're sorting out your own path. You're sorting out your own stuff at the moment. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the tarots, which will be in another reading coming up after this video, which you can find a link as well at the end of this video and one of the thumbnails, or a link in the description below. And I was wondering how it'd be interesting to see how it ties up in there. I'm wondering if the Seven of Wands will turn up, for example, within that, and maybe the Five of Cups, that disappointment factor. I wonder where that will sort of sit with you within that. So, yeah, that seems very sort of balanced. It seems very sort of like calm and collected, as it were. Let's just have a look, see what's going on your crown chakra. And there it is there. There's a slight lip there every time I go through. And that's where your consciousness is sitting within your crown chakra. So the crown chakra is like an inverted pyramid in a way, within like a hat on top of your, like the opposite to a wizard hat on top of your head. And it sort of filters out the interaction, a lot of interaction with the world around you, and brings it through your consciousness, and allows your consciousness to feed into, give excess amount of energy to certain chakras in order for you to deal with this sort of situation. But it also helps us to understand our progressional path that we're on as individuals. And I think there is a learning curve here, which we talked about in February in the collective reading. And I think it's the same with you. I've got a funny feeling it's connected to that sphere energy that is within the center of your heart at the moment, how you connect with everything that is around you. So I would be very attentive of that, because it's going to help your consciousness to grow to an extent where you extract yourself from the complications of life. That's what's going to be happening, and enter into the new paradigm. So yeah, let's just see what's going on in your aura here. So this is where we're getting that lip, the changing in the aura. Now this is another thing that I'm going to be going into on Sunday night. So you're going to want to subscribe and click that bell so you got the notifications for that video. There is a change within the aura, and it's like, if you imagine like the aura is like an onion that's got layers of magnetic fields, which are produced off your chakra system. And within the two layers of that magnetic field, it's as if you've got another layer that's growing. But as it grows, this is what it appears to be. It's getting rid of two layers. So there's a change going on. And this ties into that sphere as well, which is in the center of your heart, and how you connect with everything around you. So if the energy, as I said earlier on, is changing, you're going to have a new configuration within your aura in order for you to be in sync with the new dimension. There is an aspect below, in the lower parts of your aura, which is a little bit slow, a little bit undulated, a little bit like a snake shedding its skin, basically. The snake can't really go anywhere. And this may give you a sensation of just being stationary, not really doing anything, not really going anywhere. And that's where the pleasure comes into doing actual things, of going out for that meal with your partner or with your friends, or just instigating moments where you can just sort of like do nothing but enjoy the moment. Because it is changing, and I think that's what Funny February is all about, the changing in the energy of the people, getting ready for what's going to be kicking off in the beginning of March. There you go. Thank you very much, Aries, for being here with us and supporting this channel. You can support us also. There's loads of links in the description below. You can even buy me a cup of coffee. That would be lovely. I'll have a cup of tea, actually, rather than a coffee. But yeah, you can buy me a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it is. So in the meantime, Aries, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.